Good Day Orlando starts now with breaking news.
Well, that breaking news coming out of Seminole County, a house fire leaving one child dead. We're going to talk about the questions investigators are asking this morning.
Also, strong storms are moving into Central Florida. This is, of course, a Fox 35 storm alert day today, and we are timing out the potential for severe weather and its impact where you live.
And a dream cruise turning into a nightmare. A woman was traveling alone abroad when she suffered a stroke. Her family had no idea.
It's really hard to experience that she was helpless, that she was alone.
So hear their message to other families facing a similar situation. Really unreal details. We'll give them to you coming up. We've got a busy morning. Thanks for joining us at 5 o'clock and get ready for a lot of news in the next hour. I'm Ryan Elijah.
A lot of news indeed. I'm Daniel Knox. It is good to see you this morning. We're keeping a close eye on the weather this morning. The biggest threats arrive later on in the day. We're talking things like heavy rain and, of course, strong winds as well.
Yeah, for an update on the system, we do want to check in again with Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner, because Brooks, keep an eye on a big storm coming our way.
That's right. Good morning, Ryan and Danielle. Today is a Fox 35 storm alert day for damaging wind gusts inside of severe thunderstorms. The timing for Orlando between 2 and approximately 5 or 6 p.m. for the worst of it. Here's the scoop. We've got a line of storms up in Georgia and in the Panhandle associated with the cold front. Ultimately, it's going to usher in a beautiful weather pattern for us for the rest of this week. But we've got to get through this first. This morning already across southeast Georgia, there have been confirmed tornadoes near Warner Robins Air Force Base. This activity now moving into the Midlands of South Carolina and heading in toward southeast Georgia. First off, though, let's take a look at Sky Fox traffic this morning. It is 5:01, and Jessica Dobson is in with the latest. Good morning, Jessica.
Hi, good morning, Brooks, and good morning, Central Florida. So far, we don't have any sort of major incidents to report. We've actually seen a pretty smooth go of things. Lots of green on our map this morning, but we do want to give you some drive times. If you're traveling from Champions Gate to downtown, again, this is usually one of our trouble spots that we continue to keep a close eye on. So far, you're looking at a pretty good drive time from State Road 408 to Redbug Lake Road. You're looking at about a 7-minute drive on the 417 northbound, so in good shape there. If you're traveling on the Turnpike southbound from Winter Garden to the OIA, you're looking at about a 24-minute drive. We'll, of course, keep you posted of any sort of major incidents or delays all throughout the rest of the morning. But until then, Ryan and Danielle, back to you.
Thank you so much for that, Jessica. It is 5:01. Breaking overnight, a child is dead in a house fire in Seminole County. Officials confirming the tragic news to us just about 3 o'clock this morning.
We do want to show you where the fire is in Seminole County. It's just north of Ballard Street and east of Maitland Avenue. That's in Altamont Springs, not too far from the Altamont Mall, to kind of put that in perspective.
And fire officials say quite a few families are now without a home this morning, even more heartbreaking. And this is for the family who lost their child.
We did take a live update earlier. We heard some of the details. The fire broke out about 1:30 this morning in an apartment complex. They've not named the age of the child. They said preteen at this point. Firefighters on the scene within just 3 minutes, and flames are already shooting through the roof. More than 70 firefighters from Maitland, Longwood, Altamont Springs, all trying to keep that fire from spreading.
Just please have this family in your thoughts. They're suffering a tragedy that none of us ever want to experience, and just keep them in your thoughts.
Well, the state fire marshal will be investigating the cause of the fire. Officials say they are looking into whether the building had any working smoke detectors. The early indication they did not hear those. The American Red Cross will assist all of the families left without a home.
And we do have this Fox 35 update for you now this morning. A high-speed chase that went halfway across the state of Florida ends with an arrest. Troopers arrested the man you see right here. This is 48-year-old Walter Medina when his minivan slammed into a concrete median on John Young Parkway. New video shows some of that chaos. Investigators say the chase originally started in Hillsborough County near Tampa. Medina is accused of holding a woman captive and assaulting her with a wooden baseball bat. She was eventually able to escape, and when deputies later tried to arrest Medina, he sped off. Medina now faces 9 charges this morning, including second-degree attempted murder.
And developing now, an argument between 2 neighbors in Point Siena ends with a deadly shooting. This is what the scene looked like when deputies first arrived on Birmingham Drive. Investigators tell us one resident shot their neighbor around 10:30 in the morning after the two got into some form of an argument. The victim later died at the hospital.
I think it is bad, especially that it's 2 neighbors that's next to each other. Yeah, it's crazy. Around here it's really quiet. It's mostly a lot of little kids, so it's not a lot of stuff be happening.
Well, deputies did bring in a suspect for questioning, but no charges have been filed. Investigators say this was most likely an isolated incident.
It is now 5:04. Some new details to a cruise nightmare. 80-year-old woman suffers a stroke while overseas, but her family says they did not find out about her stroke until other passengers contacted them. Her name is Lana Guys. She says this happened to her mother, Julie, while on a Norwegian-sponsored cruise near Africa. She claims Julie was taken to the hospital and left to fend for herself there. Other passengers who missed their all-aboard call are the ones who helped her. They got Julie a hotel room and put her in contact with her family back home, where now the family is wondering why they were left in the dark by the cruise company.
It's really hard to experience that she was helpless, that she was alone.
There's a lot of 80-year-olds, there's a lot of other people that are elderly that take these cruises. They need to be hugely and extremely aware that they have very little rights when something goes wrong.
As it did in this case, but in a statement, a Norwegian spokesperson says that this is their protocol. They say it is to contact the guest directly. We spoke with a cruise expert who says the best way to prevent something like this from happening is to travel with a buddy.
You don't want to share the same cabin. Maybe you want to be in separate cabins, but it's always a good idea to travel with somebody. So this way you've got each other that can look out for each other's best interests.
Pretty scary situation. Julie was eventually able to get out. At last check, she was in a hospital in California seeking treatment. We're now 10 minutes after the 5 o'clock hour. Coming up next on Good Day Orlando this morning, a mother battles a 1 in a million heart condition, and now she needs your help.
Yeah, we're going to show you the technology helping her recover, and winds literally knocking people off their feet in Kentucky. Look at these images. We'll look at the damage and what the storm system means for our forecast a little later today, Brooks. This is not a good sign here.
Yeah, I know that was for some terrible video. I mean, it's ridiculous looking. Well, today we may see big wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. It's a Fox 35 storm alert day. The same system rolling through our region this afternoon. Quiet morning, stormy evening. I'll show you the latest impacts where you live so you can plan accordingly.
I'm David Martin from Good Day Orlando, and I'll show you why we love Florida. Now streaming on Fox Local. We Love Florida is your passport to fun.
Get exclusive access to thrilling attractions like roller coasters.
Plus, places to hike, kayak, and snorkel. Download Fox Local now on your smart TV and binge new episodes of We Love Florida.
We do want to welcome you back. Take a look at this right now. A strong storm system wreaking havoc across parts of the U.S. On the left of your screen, you can see a neighborhood underwater just north of Pittsburgh. And in parts of Wisconsin, they are expecting up to 30 inches of snow. And new video shows heavy winds slamming the University of Kentucky. The winds got so strong, a college student was blown off his feet. Students rushed to buildings for safety during a tornado warning, and the school eventually canceled classes for the day. We should add here that same storm system is now headed our way, but hopefully it won't look anything like what we saw right there. So let's bring in Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Gardner to talk to us a little bit more about it. Listen, we know this is going to be a storm alert day today. We know in the afternoon is when we are expecting those heavy storms. Let's define heavy. What does that mean?
So the severe storms in this context, it would be torrential rain, but also wind-driven rain.
Okay.
Straight line winds of 60 miles per hour or more.
60.
Now that video out of Kentucky was probably winds gusting over 100, 110 miles an hour. That was some big wind.
Right,
it's unlikely we'll see something like that. As you go farther north, the storms are more severe. No, and 60 can knock out power. You can have limbs that have been weakened from previous storms getting knocked down, isolated to scattered power outages. So here's the scoop. On today's Fox 35 Storm Alert Day, damaging wind gusts will be the primary threat. There is an outside threat for a couple of tornadoes, but that looks like it'll be pinned to the Atlantic coastline, and even then it's a very outside chance. The worst weather in Orlando today between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m., which will have impacts on, say, picking up the kids from school and your evening commute. The storm threat extends from roughly Titusville all the way north to the I-10 corridor and west of Tampa. Now, as you head farther south and east into Brevard County, the storm threat is a little lower as far as the severe potential, but that's mainly associated with the timing of the arrival, a later arrival toward evening, and also the dynamics to produce the worst weather being farther north. Now, there is also a marginal chance for an isolated tornado across the region, but it looks like by and large, that'll be a higher threat right along the Atlantic beaches within a few miles of the coast. If a sea breeze can develop, it may be just a sea breeze that's pinned to the A1A corridor, and that would result in the southwest winds bumping up against the sea breeze and causing a little bit of spin. There's a lot more spin just in the atmosphere as you get closer to the center of the system, a low pressure system in the Midwest, and as it works southward toward the Carolinas into Georgia, there's a tornado watch in effect. Some of these storms are rotating, so we've got to watch out for that potential here, but it's one of those situations where the farther north you go, the worse it gets. That said, they're getting some bad weather here across the Midlands of South Carolina, the central Savannah River area, and across south central Georgia. Here's a live view from Dublin, Georgia. The rain falling, the lightning striking, the wind gusting. That's a severe thunderstorm, and our Fox weather alert system is definitely very active this morning with tornado warnings across parts of Georgia at this time, radar indicated. So we'll continue to watch that for you. Of course, our full storm team coverage here in Orlando, and we'll let you know if anything happens. So in review, gusts to 60 miles per hour, a moderate to high chance in any storms, a low to moderate chance for hail, and a low chance, but not a zero chance for an isolated tornado. Downtown Orlando right now, 73 degrees. The other big weather story today is that it's just going to be plain old windy outside, windy and warm, a quiet morning, a stormy afternoon. 73 Orlando, 74 right now in Sanford. Winds out of the south right now between 20 and 25 miles per hour. And there's a wind advisory. This is outside of any kind of a thunderstorm threat. This is just plain old wind as this front moves in between 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. There's going to be winds gusting over 40 miles an hour. So, as you're driving along the Lake Jessup Bridge on 417, that can be a white knuckle ride, and a day like this is no exception. Same story for driving over Lake Monroe on I-4 as you're heading up toward Deltona. It's just going to be, you're going to be buffeted around. Now, the temperatures today will vary from 77 in Gainesville to as high as 88 in Melbourne. The farther southeast you go, the warmer it'll be. Orlando right about 85 degrees. Should be great weather this morning at the theme parks, but this afternoon it's game on for the possibility of some severe storms, so have alternate and indoor plans. Okay, my 7-day forecast, 85 today, 80% chance for rain this afternoon and evening. Otherwise, sunshine and beautiful. A long stretch of ideal spring weather in one of the last stretches of low humidity. It is going to be nice behind the system. Okay, let's take a look at our Skyfox traffic with Jessica Dobson. Good morning, Jessica.
Hi, good morning, Brooks, and good morning, Central Florida. Overall, we're off to a pretty quiet start to our day. No major delays to report at this time, but we do want to show you Florida 528 at Satellite Boulevard. Only a couple of cars out there lighting up the roadway, so not seeing a whole lot in the way of traffic just yet this morning, but we're, of course, watching things. So in terms of our delays, we don't have major delays to report, but if you're traveling on the 417 northbound from State Road 408 to Red Bug Lake Road, you're not looking at any sort of delays, about a 7-minute drive time there. On the toll road 429 Colonial to State Road 414, about a 7-minute drive there. And Cocoa to OIA on the 428 westbound, about a 30-minute drive for you there. All right, let's get a look at some of the gas prices. And I was so excited on my way into work this morning. The gas prices were a lot lower, and this is even a lot cheaper than what I saw. I saw around $3.41, but this is $3.26 at the Sunoco in Orlando at 1905 East Michigan Street. And if you'd like to see more gas prices, you can head to our website, fox35orlando.com, to get the best deals. All right, Ryan and Danielle, we'll send it back to you.
And we appreciate it, Jessica. Thank you. Your time right now is 5:20, turning our attention to this Fox 35 exclusive this morning. Some new details about why this canine tried to jump off the 528 bridge that was 75 feet above the Indian River Lagoon. Fox 35's Esther Bauer spoke to the deputy holding that leash. She explains what happened moments before this video.
Esther, thanks. Just crazy video and great work on her part. Good to see the canines okay. Well, coming up on Good Day Orlando, Costco getting in on the weight loss trend, how members will be able to take part in a new monthly program. Much more still ahead on this Wednesday morning. It's a busy morning on Good Day Orlando.
Oh, it certainly is. Let's go ahead now and take a look at some of the stories that we're working on for you for the 5:30 half hour of the show. First, we are learning more about the city of Orlando's plan to annex over 6,000 acres in eastern Orange County, why the county argues the city, though, should wait.
And the number of Americans rescued from Haiti, that continues to grow. We've got an update on the violence tearing through the Caribbean country and the number of Floridians impacted.
Good Day Orlando is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Good Day Orlando starts now with breaking news.
And that breaking news right now at 5:30 is this. A child is killed at an apartment fire in Seminole County. Many families now left without a place to call home. We're live at the scene with an update from investigators.
And it's Fox 35 Weather Alert Day. We could see some strong storms this afternoon. How it could impact kids as they head home from school.
Welcome back to Good Day Orlando. As we said, this is the 5:30 half hour of our show. It certainly is good to see you as always. I'm Danielle Knox.
I'm right, Elijah. Danielle, good to see you. Good to wake up with you this morning as well. We're halfway through the work week. And we've got one of those weather alert days that we were watching this morning. Let's get the details. Storm alert day with Brooks.
Yeah, that's right, Ryan. Damaging wind gusts will be the main threat as storms develop this afternoon. The worst weather in Orlando between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. So this morning you're going to be good to go, but this afternoon be weather aware. The entire yellow area, which encompasses pretty much all of central Florida with the exception of southeastern sections of Osceola County and southern Brevard, are looking at a likelihood of severe storms. It's a possibility here down in Brevard County, but it's not quite as likely. That said, we've got a line of storms that are extending from the Carolinas through Georgia into our panhandle that'll make its way into our region as soon as late this morning, and then, and I mean like our region being Gainesville and Ocala, and then early this afternoon for Orlando Point South. We've had a lot of severe weather in the pre-dawn hours here with some tornadoes across Georgia. Things are in a little bit of a lull right now. Here's a live view from Columbia, South Carolina, looking at Williams-Brice Stadium, home of the Gamecocks. They've got big weather coming in there right now. Here's a look at our big board, our Fox Weather Alert System. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of Georgia and our panhandle. That weather coming in this afternoon. In the meantime, let's take a look at our Sky Fox traffic this morning. It is 5:32. Jessica Dobson, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Brooks. Good morning, Central Florida. So far, we're seeing a pretty smooth go of things. We're looking at the 417 Arcousie Road to Colonial Drive, about an 11-minute drive there, so no major delays to report. But Florida's Turnpike northbound, US 192 to I-4, you're looking at about a 14-minute drive for you there, so still in good shape. And then if we take a closer look at some of our maps and cameras, you can see 417 to downtown, about a 7-minute drive there. A couple of cars out on the roadways there. You can see this is west of Lake Underhill Road, or west of Lake Underhill. So we're in good shape so far. We'll, of course, keep you posted of any sort of major delays or incidents all throughout the morning. Until then, Ryan and Danielle, back to you.
All right, Jessica Brooks, sounds good. You can depend on Fox 35 to keep you informed anytime severe weather hits. If you've not done so already, you can download the Fox 35 Storm Team weather app. It's going to give you those real-time alerts when lightning strikes, among a number of other factors.
We do have this story breaking overnight. We are sad to report that a child is dead right now in an apartment fire in Seminole County. Officials confirming the tragic news to us just about 3 o'clock this morning. So we want to go ahead now and give you a look at where this fire happened in Seminole County. It is just north of Ballard Street and east of Maitland Avenue in Altamont Springs, which is not too far from the Altamont Mall.
And Fox 35's Amanda McKenzie is live near the scene. Amanda, we know fire officials say quite a few families are now without a home, so a very difficult situation there.
Oh, just a tragic morning here. At least a dozen units with families have been affected by this fire. And sadly, the fire chief was telling us about how they're trying to keep all of their thoughts and prayers with the family that has lost a child this morning. Now, the age of that child has not been released, but crews say it was a preteen. The fire chief tells us there were no other reported injuries. The state fire marshal will be investigating the cause of the fire. Officials also say they are looking into whether the building had any working smoke detectors. The American Red Cross is here on the scene to assist all of the families who are now suffering and don't have a place to call home this morning. Reporting live in Altamont Springs, Amanda McKenzie, Fox 35 News.
We'll continue to follow this tragic story, Amanda. Thank you so much. 5:35 your time, developing this morning a battle over land in Orange County.
Yeah, the Orlando City Council, we said that they were expanding forward. Morgan Parish is live this morning, and Morgan, Orange County leaders want the city to wait, so a bit of a land issue here.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, so this is just phase one of the project. And so that's the big debate right now between the city and the county, because the county says that the city should have annexed both parts of land at once. And now there's going to have to be a second phase to this project. Now, phase two of annexation is another 5,000 acres south of the Beachline Expressway. And the county also says the city did not alert the county in a way that Florida law says it should have, and that could invalidate the annexation. Now, the city said it's also trying to attract some innovation companies because of the land's close proximity to the Space Coast and the Orlando International Airport. And also, an Orange County spokesperson spoke with Fox 35 and said that they are still waiting to hear from the board of the county commissioners to decide whether they plan on challenging annexation. So, of course, we're waiting on some more details on how they're going to proceed and move forward with this. For now, reporting live in Orange County, I'm Morgan Parrish, Fox 35 News.
Morgan, thanks. We'll continue to follow that. Meanwhile, Stetson University building a new dorm right in the center of campus. Take a look at the 4-story residence hall that's going to have 305 beds. It will be near the Carlton Union building in Templeton Fountain. That's at the campus in DeLand. Beautiful campus if you've never seen it. These are renderings of what the dorm would look like. The university is scheduled to break ground this summer. They should be ready for students in 2026. All right, coming up on Good Day Orlando, the federal government now mandating changes for railroads to improve railway safety.
The pushback one new rule is facing this morning. We'll talk about that just ahead. Also, before we go to break, Rosemarie Lawson drove down to the studio yesterday from Ocala. Rosemarie won a 4-pack of tickets to Universal Orlando Resort just by watching Good Day Orlando. She told Ryan and Brooks that she watches us every single morning, and we certainly do appreciate that. And she said she's going to take her friend Dorothy and Dorothy's grandson to the park. We want them to have fun, enjoy themselves, and thank you so much, Rosemarie and family, for watching Good
she was
Day
awesome. Hi,
Orlando. Oh gosh, she looks like a little bitty thing in the middle of you and you and Brooks, but she's got a big check and a big opportunity to go to Universal. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm David Martin with Good Day Orlando. Watch Central Florida Eats, now streaming on Fox Local. Every episode, go inside a new restaurant, from tacos to seafood to the best burgers for your bite. Download Fox Local now on your smart TV and binge new episodes of Central Florida Eats.
Hi, I'm Dr. K, a gastroenterologist at Advent Health, where we are committed to keeping you healthy.
Every week, an Advent Health physician answers important questions on the latest health topics. Watch Healthy Living House Calls.
Tune in Monday at 8 a.m. during Good Day Orlando.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rachel Humphrey, maternal fetal medicine physician at Advent Health.
Every week, an Advent Health physician answers important questions on the latest health topics. Watch Healthy Living House Calls.
Monday at 8 a.m. during Good Day Orlando.
And we do want to welcome you back. Your time right now is 5:41. Former President Donald Trump is warning of what he calls a border bloodbath. He is taking on an issue that helped propel him to the White House back in 2016. Let's bring in Fox's Doug Luzader now, joining us live from Washington, D.C. Hi, Doug. Good morning.
Good morning. Point.
Absolutely. In 2024, Fox's Doug Luzader. Always enjoy speaking with you, Doug. We'll do it again
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Danielle.
It's my pleasure. All right, 5:44. Right. At 5:48, let's turn our attention to Brooks Garner on this storm alert day. We are expecting some high winds and heavy rains, Brooks.
That is right, Danielle. That happens this afternoon. This morning, it'll be beautiful, warm, but gusty. This afternoon, though, storms developing from Ocala. We're looking at a timeline of noon to 2 p.m. for the worst of the weather, and in Orlando between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. That means as you're picking up the kids from school, there may be, in thunderstorms, delayed releases as they have to consider lightning safety before allowing the kids on the buses, and that means for and at the very least, a wet evening commute, and it may be one featuring active downpours and thunderstorms. There is a severe weather threat extending from Georgia all the way southward through Osceola in northern Brevard counties, but the farther south you get, the lower the storm chance is. That said, Orlando squarely in the target zone for the possibility of severe thunderstorms. There's a line of storms coming in with a cold front now extending across the Midlands of South Carolina in through South Georgia and our Panhandle. There have been tornadoes this morning, and in fact, even in Florida right now, there's an active tornado warning. This is for Bay County, including the Panama City area. This storm has just moved over Panama City. It's moving east toward Weehawken and eventually into inland areas north of I-10. Just to give you an idea of what's going on out there as far as the atmosphere, it is spinning in spots. And we, too, have an outside chance for a tornado. Here's a live view from one of the traffic cams. You can see the lightning flashing. And look at the street lights blowing. This is Panama City Beach, a live camera on US 231. They're getting wind gusts in this thunderstorm in excess of 40 or 50 miles an hour right here. And remember, this is the spot where there's an active tornado warning in effect, and you can see the raindrops blowing across the lens. We're going to continue monitoring these storms all morning long. Stay with the Fox 35 storm team. Our alert system is very active, as you can see. Storm warnings and tornado warnings. Here's that Bay County tornado warning for our Panhandle. including Panama City Beach here over the next 45 minutes, expiring at 6:15 Eastern time. All right, here's a look at our future radar. Fox model, exclusive to Fox 35. Line of storms working out of the Panhandle and into our northern counties, including Dixie, Levy, Alachua, and Gilchrist through 10 to 11 o'clock. Gainesville between noon and 1. Ocala between about noon and 2 o'clock. And then eventually we'll see the action moving toward Orlando. Now, out ahead of the main line, there may be one or two isolated storms that could be strong. These could have gusty winds with them. Remember, it's going to be a windy day today anyway. We're going to have gusts today over 40 miles an hour anyway, outside of the storms. So once you get these storms rolling in, it's not going to take much to push these to severe limits with winds inside the storm of, say, 20 miles an hour, but relative to the 40-mile-per-hour gusts, that'll just tack onto it, and we'll get those bigger gusts. By 4 o'clock, the line of the worst weather from Kissimmee to Orlando to Titusville, and then working south toward Brevard County. Now, the window for severe weather will be small. Once it starts raining, it'll last for about an hour, maybe 2 hours, and then after that, it'll be just sort of a general shower, maybe brief downpour before it all works out of the region later on tonight. So 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, a moderate to high chance, a low chance for hail, and a very low chance for tornadoes, but not a complete 0% chance. If you're traveling today, we're looking at the worst weather here in Orlando. Heading north toward Atlanta, 61 degrees for today, much cooler, and some lingering showers up around Nashville. All right, so we've got some active weather on tap, and the 7-day forecast detailing that today. 80% chance for rain, 85 degrees, followed by a beautiful weather setup for the balance of this work week and beyond, with low humidity and temperatures moderating from the 70s back to the 80s. All right, let's take a look at our Skyfox traffic with Jessica Dobson. Good morning, Jessica.
Hi, good morning, Brooks. And we do now have one incident to report. This is going to be a crash in Brevard County. This is going to be south of Melbourne, so southern Brevard County. Dairy Road heading southbound. This is going to be near Palm Bay Road, northeast. So you can see that we had the crash here at that intersection. So just keep that in mind if you normally take that, if you normally drive in that area, you might be running into some delays this morning, but so far no red popping up on the map, so no major delays at this point. But we are keeping a close eye on, of course, Champions Gate. We're starting to see some brake lights there, so some brake tapping is beginning to take place. A little bit of yellow there, but so far not seeing any sort of major delays, just a couple of minutes added onto your drive time so far. It's still early though, of course, but if you're heading on I-4 eastbound towards downtown, you're looking at about a 25-minute drive, so a couple of minutes added on there. If you're heading from downtown to Lake Mary, about a 14-minute commute for you there. All right, Ryan and Danielle, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Jessica, thank you. It is 5:52, still ahead on Good Day Orlando this morning. A group of thieves, they messed with the wrong guy. How the victim fought back.
And we continue to follow breaking news. An apartment fire in Altamont Springs leaving a child dead. Multiple families have been displaced. We do have a crew live on the scene. We're going to have an update coming up from Amanda McKenzie in the next 10 minutes.
Today's Weather Baby is sponsored by attorney Dan Newlin.
And we do want to welcome you back. We continue to follow breaking news coming out of Altamont Springs. An apartment fire in Altamont leaves a child dead. Multiple families are displaced right now. We do have a crew live at the scene. They will have an update for us coming up in just the next 6 minutes.
Well, caught on camera, a close call for a yard worker in Texas. He spotted a group of people stealing his equipment on Saturday. The suspects tried to speed off, even swerving at the worker with one of their cars. Video shows the worker throwing his weed whacker at the car. You can see it right here, knocking a suspect out of the window. The workers said that they then chased that person around with the weed whacker until the suspect ran back to the car. So he was tracked down at a hospital and arrested. Authorities looking for the other suspects.
A little bizarre there, huh? Boy. All right. The time right now is 4 before the hour. Much more ahead on Fox 35 this morning.
Good Day Orlando at 6 o'clock is on the other side of the break. We'll see you then.